Hello, I am Victoria Seed and I am coming to you from the Vesta Approach in Manchester, UK. I help family members who are affected by a loved one's alcohol or drug use, and I can help you too. Every week I go live or plan a pre-recorded session all about a topic related to addiction and family recovery. And today we are going to be talking about 5 ways to support a loved one in recovery at Christmas. So quite a lot of people come to me kind of before this point for support and help when their loved one is still using their substance and they're not quite sure how to manage that. And what I help with is teaching really effective strategies for them to cope, and so that they have the best possible chance of getting a loved one to accept the help they need or make some changes and even stop their substance use in a lot of cases. It's not easy work, this, so that's why I recommend, if you can get some help, please do, and drop me a message, private message, or email me or comment below, and I will happily help you out if you're stuck with this situation. So let's get to it. 5 ways to support a loved one in recovery at Christmas. Professionals, if you are watching this and you are in any sort of helping role, if you are somebody else, a member of the public that knows somebody in this situation, then please share this video for me. All right, so let's go. Number 1. The first thing I want you to do in supporting somebody who might have made significant changes to their substance use, or who may now be what we call in recovery, so have recovered from that. They may be abstinent, they may have cut down, they may have got to their goal, whatever it is, right? So this time of year it can be very difficult to avoid alcohol and drugs, all right? So from doing this work for nearly 20 years, I know that there are different types of people. There are people that during their recovery are happy to associate with other people who are drinking and using drugs. They have got the confidence and assertiveness to be able to say no. They're not triggered by it in any way. And there are other people that are kind of in the middle of that and are like, oh, I don't know, let's make a strategy. And there are other people that are like, you know what, as part of my recovery, I'm not even going to put myself in a situation like that. So as family members, friends and partners, this is for you really. What I want you to do is ask your loved one what they need, because in person-centered practice or person-centered care, we start with the person where they are at. And it can be really easy for us to start making decisions and plans for other people. But as we know, when people try and do this for us, we don't like it, do we? So the best thing I can suggest that you do is ask them what they need. So you could start a conversation like, okay, we're on the run up to Christmas. I know it can be tough for you in recovery. Do you want to make a plan? Is there anything that you need that I can help you with? And wait for a response, because when we have a conversation, we need to listen to what other people have to say without butting in, which isn't always easy, right? So if you say, actually, I'm absolutely fine, I don't need anything, there's still things you can do around that as well. So number 1 is ask them what they need. Number 2 is support them to plan ahead. So in this sense, we might have some strategies, like, for example, if you were having people around and you make a decision to serve alcohol and your loved one has had a problem with alcohol, ask them how they feel about it. If it's their house as well, they should be able to make a decision around that. If they don't want alcohol around them, then other people can make a decision whether to come or not, can't they, to an event, and that's on them. It might be that to plan ahead, it might be thinking about things that you've been invited to, figuring out which ones they feel comfortable with, planning about having alcoholic drinks in the house, having associated with people that might get a few lines out of cocaine or something when your loved one doesn't want to do that. So think about that and support them with that plan. So again, it's coming from them, not from you. However, as a family member, friend, or partner, you are often really aware of a loved one's triggers and cravings and what kind of ended up in them using substances in the past and using them problematically. So you're well within your rights to share those experiences and just say, you know, I know that in the past these kind of people, places and things triggered you into using. So how do you feel about that now? Is there anything we can do to avoid those things? Has anything changed around those triggers? So yeah, just have that conversation again. Number 3, this is a big one and I see it all the time. People come to me and pay me for help and support around getting their loved one well. However, they are still, because it's convenient for them, drinking or using with them. I mean, think about it. So if you're trying to stop your loved one or motivate your loved one to change their substance use, and then because it suits you to have a drink or because it suits you to use a drug, that isn't going to end well, is it? Because you're giving out mixed messages. And a lot of the work that I do with my clients is around setting really healthy and firm boundaries. And it isn't actually fair on your loved one if 1 minute you're complaining because of the substance use, and then the next minute, because it's convenient for you, you're racking up a line, you are pouring a drink, you're like, oh, come on, let's just have one together. Whatever it is, right? You've got to be really firm about this. In my opinion, other practitioners think differently. That's up to them. But in my opinion, you know, I don't think that is a very good way forward if you want to try to motivate a loved one to change or to motivate them to stay in their recovery. Because there's lots of things you can do as a family member here. All right. So, number 4, be considerate. So, note what I've said already. Be really considerate. Consider your loved one's triggers. So, it might be that, you know, every time they went to a club, they ended up using drugs. So, what you don't want to be doing then is suggesting to go out clubbing, do you? Because that's going to be a difficult situation for them, especially if they're quite new to their recovery and wellness. The other thing is have an exit strategy. So say if you go to a party, round to a family member's house, going for Christmas dinner, whatever it is you're doing, have an exit strategy. Have, you know, a plan between you, or, you know, help your loved one come up with a plan if that's what they want around getting out of there if things get a bit too much. And it might be just your loved one's assertive enough to say, do you know what? You knock yourselves out, you know, I'm going to head off before you all get absolutely wasted. I've had a great time. Thanks so much for inviting me. Let's go. Or you might, that your loved one may feel more comfortable having some sort of plan or code or have a message or whatever. And all of these things are absolutely fine. Not technically lying. It's putting your recovery first, which is absolutely fine. Number 5, plan things that don't involve booze or drugs. Really important, again, because over the holidays, over Christmas and New Year in particular, a lot of the focus is around drinking, a lot of the focus is around drug use, and actually it doesn't need to be that way. There are so many activities that you can do. It depends on your budget as well. You know, I'm not saying go out, go on holiday to the Lake District for the week in isolation or whatever. What I'm saying is there's loads of movies on, there's loads of films you can watch, there's beautiful walks, you can join the National Trust and get out and about. You know, there are family members that you can pop round and see in the day, and drive so that you don't have to drink or take drugs or whatever it is. So plan things that don't involve booze and drugs. If you have got an income where you can pay to do activities, then book some of those in as well, right? You don't have to spend money, but some of you may want to spend money, and that's absolutely fine. Planning meals that you can cook together, have fun with. If you've got kids, do things with them. Children-centered activities shouldn't be involving alcohol anyway. So yeah, there's lots of things. So I'm just going to do a recap on that. Number one, ask your loved one what they need. Two, support them to plan ahead. So offer that support for them and have a role in that with them, but don't take over. Number three, don't drink or use with them because it is convenient for you. Number four, be considerate, such as planning exit strategies, putting their needs first. Number five, plan things that don't involve booze or drugs. So if you're waiting for things to get better without help, or your loved one has just got into recovery, I can help because I offer packages of support, one-to-one packages for this client group, and they range from 6 to 12 weeks. I also have a recovery coaching package as well, which is paid monthly, so you could have 4 weeks and then decide what you want to do at the end of that time. So whatever part of your family recovery you're in, whether your loved one is in recovery, is in denial, or has recovered, I can help you through that process. So please don't be alone. And if you can't afford to get pay for any treatment, there are so many services that can help you as well. So what I would suggest you do is head over and download my free download here at vestaapproach.co.uk/freebie. And that freebie has lots of free to paid services that I personally recommend from doing this work for a long, long time. So have a look at them. But if you're ready to invest in yourself and work with me, then please get in touch. All right, take care. I will see you next week.